Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be another unboxing. I was able to get a figure off of my figure collection pre-owned from a really awesome seller. They communicated pretty quickly and they shipped her out even quicker, and she arrived to me pretty fast, I would say. So excellent experience there. I will leave their MFC page linked down below. I do believe they have some other things for sale, so if you're interested, you might be able to check it out. Also, I would say very reasonably priced. I picked her up for about $135, though her aftermarket is pretty low now. It is the Yueji, I think is how you pronounce her name. I can't remember by who. I want to say Good Smile Company. She's really cool looking. She's got a lot of like tattoos, and I would say it's giving kind of punk slash goth. I say in heavy parentheses because it's not really goth, but it's just more on the dark side as far as like themes go and like style wise, I would say. But definitely I would say more so on the punk aesthetic in my opinion. If you guys have like a better word for it, leave it down in the comments. I'm not exactly sure what you would call this style. But I did want to originally pick her up when she went up for pre-order, but she was just a little bit expensive, so I ended up canceling my pre-order, and I just happened to go on her MFC page not that long ago to just look at like what the current price she was going for was, because I really like her design, but I didn't want to pay a ton for her. So I was happily surprised to find out that her aftermarket had tanked significantly, and I was like, well, shoot, I might as well just pick her up now. I'm not able to really get any other figures at the moment since Japan isn't really shipping over here, and a lot of my orders are through AmiAmi, so I'm waiting on those. Though Nin Games does have DHL shipping now that includes taxes and duties, which I did just pick up a figure going that route, which I will have a video unboxing, but I will say it is quite expensive, so not really the most reasonable option, but an option nonetheless. Regardless, though, I'll talk more about that in that video. Let's go ahead and take her out of the box. Alrighty, so here she is inside the box. They packaged her very nicely, so I appreciate that a ton. She had tons of bubble wrap as well as tons of packing paper, so excellent job there. Her box is in pretty good condition. There's just a little tear on the corner here, but for the most part, it looks like that's the only damage, and I did get pictures of her beforehand from the seller on Discord, so I know what condition she's in and I'm fine with it and happy with it. So I think she looks pretty good. Though I will say she's a little bit smaller than I expected. Okay, never mind, she's a non-scale figure. I don't know why I had it in my head that she was a 1/5 scale. That's why I feel like she's smaller than she should be. But she is technically a non-scale figure, and she is by Good Smile Company. Here is the side of her box. It gives us a nice picture of her. I think she looks absolutely stunning. She is so pretty. I absolutely love her tattoos. That's one of my favorite parts about this figure is all of her tattoos. And then here's the back of the box. We get a couple more pictures of her and then a close-up, and again, the side of the box has another picture of her. So this figure is like from the knees up. She doesn't have legs, so it's definitely more of like an artistic sort of representation of an illustration, but I really like that. I think it's quite unique. It's not really something you see with figures a lot, so I don't mind it. I know some people didn't really like it that much, but I think it is awesome looking. So I'm gonna go ahead and take her out of the box now and show her off to you guys. All right, so here we have her all set up. Super easy to assemble, so that's always great. She just slots right on to this bottom part of the base, and then the back part just slots into the back side of the base. Super easy to put together. Almost like an acrylic stand for this back piece, if you've ever had one of those and put it together. Like, just off of my first glance, I will say I think she looks gorgeous. There's one detail that I didn't actually catch in the promo photos, but these little laces along the front side of her dress are real. They're real fabric laces. I absolutely love that. I think it looks super good. But yeah, I don't know. I think she looks gorgeous. I do think she has quite a bit of nice detail. I would say the only thing that I think they could have done a little bit better on, but it could also just be because her scale is quite small. The peonies that surround her on the floor and then this wreath of peonies that is behind her doesn't have a ton of really intricate detail. The flowers do have like individual petals, but it's not super defined, nor is it really like individually sculpted, if that makes sense. They can almost come off kind of blobbish, although there is a little bit of detail to them, and they don't have a ton of shading either, which honestly, not a super big deal. She is definitely the centerpiece, so the flowers are just kind of there to help accentuate her design, but I do think that they would have looked a little bit nicer if they were a bit more detailed. One thing I do want to point out that I really do think is awesome and that I like is that you can actually see the backside of her through the back of the acrylic plate, and I think that's really cool. And then not only that, but all the vines, you can see all those details on the back as well, which I think that looks really nice. They could have just skimped out and not really added all of the thorns and the leaves behind her, but they didn't, so I think that looks cool. The detail on her tattoos looks pretty good. The decals are applied pretty seamlessly, and it doesn't really seem like there's any issues there. So I think they did an excellent job with that. I do really like how on her backside, her tattoos go all the way down to her butt. I think it looks really nice, and you can even kind of see her underwear peeking through a little bit, which I do quite like. Her dress is quite unique, and I think it has some really interesting details and cutouts. I like how the green part looks like it's stitched to this kind of gray green color. I don't really know. It's not quite black and it's not really quite gray. It's kind of somewhere in between gray and green with some darker black shading to it. And I like that there are quite a few different contrasting finishes on this figure. Of course, all of the gold details look really, really stunning, and they're painted immaculately. There is no like mess ups anywhere that I can see. And then this really, really nice glossy finish to her, like I would say they were probably leather is what they were going for. Looks really, really good. And then of course all the matte parts look awesome as well. This figure does have quite a bit of gradient shading on her outfit, which I really, really appreciate. It just adds that extra bit of detail that a lot of figures are lacking in. I love her little like garter. I think it looks really, really cute, and the gold details on that looks spectacular as well. She also has this gold chain going across her chest that looks really good. It almost looks like real chain. That's how like nice it is. Now, if there's one thing that I will say about her outfit is that although the flowers are a little bit lacking in detail, I think all of the lacing on her outfit looks really, really good. Particularly the lacing that's real, because obviously that just adds another layer of detail that most figures don't really get. But even the lacing on this front part here, although it is sculpted, it looks really, really good. And it doesn't seem blobby at all. You can see all the detail in there, which I really appreciate. I would say the lacing on her arms is a little bit less detailed. I wish they had done the grommets on her sleeves in that gold paint as well, because then it would have helped define the lacing a little bit more, because the grommets are painted the same red that the lacing is painted, and it just comes off as a little bit sloppy in my opinion. But it may be like a illustration design choice that they were just following, so I'm not going to critique it too hard. I do love that her sleeves are nice and long. I don't know. She does actually have hands in there. Wow, that's insane. Let me take her off the base so I can give you guys a look at that. I was gonna say, I wonder if she has hands, but she does. She has two little hands in there, and her nails are painted green, which I really like. You're never gonna see her hands unless you turn her upside down. So I do appreciate the fact that they painted her fingernails still, because they really didn't have to. In fact, they really didn't even have to put hands in there, but they did. So I appreciate that. I love the execution of this figure. If you've seen the original art piece, it is very true to the art. If I can find the original art, I will insert a picture of it right here so you guys can get a look at it in comparison to the figure. I really appreciate that they went more with the art style than like an interpretation where they'd give her legs, because I think it just looks a lot more interesting. This is not typical of what you would see in your standard anime figure collection, so I really like that. As far as the colors and all that goes, I love the colors. The green stands out so nicely and it looks really pretty against that red as well. And then the tattoos are just stunning. A+. Not super common to see figures with tattoos, so that's always a really nice touch as well. Her outfit's super cute. I absolutely love it. And her little panties are really cute as well. They're just white with a little black bow on them. And I like that her tattoos kind of flow all over her body and you can see them on her legs and on her backside, because I think they could have really easily just put it on her arms and her chest and left it at that, but they really like pulled it all throughout her design, which I really like. Obviously the peonies are very particular to this design. That's kind of the only reason that I complained about the flowers that are sculpted, because I feel like they could have done a little bit of a better job on that, especially because it does seem to be quite important to her character design. But that is really the only major complaint I have with her. Everything else is perfect and just as I had suspected it would be, and I'm super happy to have her in my collection now. I will make sure to get some good b-roll of her so you guys can see all those nice juicy details, because she does have quite a few. And honestly, for such a small figure, I think she's pretty stunning. Her face looks really cool too, and her eyes are quite unique. I'll make sure to capture that in the b-roll as well. She has like goldish green eyes, I would say, and she has pretty cold stare, but I really like her. Do leave a comment down below if you know what this style would be categorized as, because it is definitely giving more alt vibe and I would say kind of punk vibes, but I don't really know if there's like a specific name for this style. I'm sure there is probably in maybe like Japanese fashion and subculture, but I'm not sure. So if you guys know, let me know. I like this style quite a lot. I think it looks very cool. But yeah, otherwise, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please leave a like, a comment, and maybe consider subscribing, and of course, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.